Hello to everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Today we are going to speak about the Golden Visa, the Portuguese Golden Visa program. So today I'm here to speak about the Portuguese Golden Visa program. So thank you, Bosco, for the invitation. I am delighted to speak about this program. I have been working with the immigration industry since the beginning of the Portuguese Golden Visa program. So I have quite an experience with this type of legal assistant. I work currently at Abreu Advogados. I am an associate immigration lawyer. We have a specific immigration team working with the Golden Visa application, assisting clients of all nationalities to get the Golden Visa in Portugal. Of course, through different types of investments. Today, we are going to speak a little bit about investments in real estate. And of course, that we also have here some changes that may happen in the future in respect to the real estate investment. But we will, of course, address this in a couple of minutes. So Abreu Advogados is one of the top 5 law firms in Portugal. As I mentioned, we have a specific immigration team working with this program. And so far we have assisted over 1,000 applications. So we are quite experienced in this matter. Of course, that the first note to address is to say that the Portuguese Golden Visa is a residency by investment program. So of course that the main goal of our clients is to achieve the Portuguese nationality, and that is in fact possible with the Golden Visa, since with 5 years of legal residence in Portugal, which is achieved with the Golden Visa program, the applicant can apply, in fact, for the Portuguese nationality and become a Portuguese national. So here we have some facts about Portugal. Of course, that you know Portugal because of the sun and the safety environment. Portugal is considered one of the countries with the most good environment for business. We have, of course, a good health system, a good level of education, excellent quality of life, etc. So I'm not here to sell Portugal, because Portugal will it's what it is. So it's a nice location. We have been receiving a lot of different nationalities throughout these years of the Golden Visa program. We are feeling now, of course, due to certain political crisis, that Americans, South Africans, and Brazil as well are in the top nationalities in order to apply for the Golden Visa. But in fact, we have assisted different nationalities throughout these years of program. So basically, what is the Golden Visa? The Golden Visa is a temporary residence permit granted to foreign nationals that conduct investment activities in Portugal. So we have a list of a different type of investments that can be executed and must be eligible in order to apply for the Golden Visa. So the Golden Visa, being a temporary residency permit, may offer to its holders certain rights. For example, entering Portugal without a specific visa. So being a permit valid in Portugal, the applicant will be able to enter into Portugal and here live and work. And freely travel within Schengen area. Of course, that with the Golden Visa, being a Portuguese permit, the applicant will not be entitled to work in another Schengen country, but of course that the applicant may freely travel within Schengen area. The applicant may also benefit from the social support from the Portuguese social security, and the public health and education system. So this is in fact very important to our clients, that because they often ask us, how is our public health and education system? And I must say that we have a very, very good public health and education system. The Golden Visa also entitles the investor to request family reunification for the spouses, children, parents, and parents-in-law, of course, under certain requirements that if you are interested in knowing more about this, we will be delighted to have a chat with you. With the Golden Visa, after 5 years, it is possible to request a permanent status associated or not with the investment of the Golden Visa, and at the same time, the applicant may also apply for the Portuguese nationality, of course, again, complying with the requirements of the law. So, the Golden Visa program was constructed as a non-red tape procedure, which extremely reduced legal requirements. So, of course, that it is a bureaucratic procedure, but that's the reason we exist, in order to facilitate to our clients the possibility to apply for a program like this. And in fact, having a professional assisting with this type of application makes everything much easier. Just a few notes. The investor must comply with the following requirements. The funds of the execution of the investment must be transferred from abroad. So one of the preliminary steps when a client comes to us in order to start the Golden Visa program is in fact the opening of a bank account in Portugal. And it is in fact essential that the funds must be transferred from abroad into the Portuguese bank account held by the investor. The investor must enter in Portugal with a valid Schengen visa, because one of the steps of the program is in fact the collection of biometrics, and in order to be able to be here in Portugal, the investor must have a Schengen visa valid. Of course, that this is very important, not to have any reference in the Portuguese immigration services nor in the Schengen system in respect to the investor, and the investor cannot be convicted of a relevant crime punishable with more than 1 year of imprisonment. Very important is to know that the investor and family members must stay in Portugal 7 days during the first year and 40 days during the following periods of 2 years within the validity period of the cards. These periods may be fulfilled consecutive or non-consecutive. Of course, that a UE citizen or a UE of a Schengen state cannot apply for the Golden Visa. So here you have a list of the eligible investment activities. The last note that we have here in bold mentions that the investment may be executed by the investor in his personal name or through a sole shareholder company held only by the investor. Sometimes this happens often. The investor prefers to incorporate a Portuguese company in Portugal in order to execute investments. In relation to the types of the investment activities, we have capital transfer and job creation. Capital transfer, the minimum threshold is 1 million euros, and the creation of 10 jobs in Portugal. We have artistic production, for example, the minimum threshold is 250,000 euros. Scientific research, which is 350,000, and the job creation through a Portuguese company with a registered office in Portugal. And in this case, the minimum threshold is also 350,000 euros. In relation to the real estate, we have here three options. The acquisition of real estate, a straightforward acquisition, and the minimum threshold will be 500,000 euros. Or if the real estate is built at least 30 years ago or located in an urban rehabilitation area, and some works will be done with that property, the minimum threshold will be 350,000. So in terms of real estate acquisition, in order to achieve the golden visa, we have these two options, the 350,000 and the 500,000 option. Of course, that if these two types of investments are made in a low populated area, the minimum threshold will be reduced in 20%. So 400,000 euros in the first option and 280,000 euros in the second option. We have also the option of the investment funds and venture capital, which is quite booming now because due to the COVID and these flight restrictions that we have currently in Portugal and in the UE, clients often prefer to pursue this type of investment because they don't have to come to Portugal to choose the property. It's reasonable that the investor wishes to choose the property in person. We have, of course, clients that they choose the investments remotely with virtual visits with several brokers. But we are feeling that this type of investment, the investment funds, will be the option that clients will be pursuing at this stage. Of course, that is very important to address a specific situation that we are currently living, because since the beginning of the year, with our 2020 state budget law, the government approved a provision stating that they will be authorized to amend the golden visa rules in order to limit the real estate investment in principle and in general terms within Lisbon and Oporto, but probably in the areas of the coast. So with the COVID, we thought, because we are living here a crisis due to the COVID, as many countries are currently living, we assume that the government will not use this legislative authorization to amend the golden visa program, because at the end of the day, we need foreign investment to come to Portugal. But in fact, the Prime Minister mentioned the previous week that in fact the rules will be changing within this year in order to limit the real estate investment in Porto and Lisbon. Of course, that this is not good news in terms of real estate investment, but we feel that investors, they will adjust. And of course, the products that will be, if these amendments will enter into force, the real estate products will adjust. And of course, we have also the investment funds that will become more and more attractive. We are now seeing that a lot of funds are being created and incorporated, and we feel that in fact this option with the investment funds will be the one that will be the most used for the golden visa program. Of course, that our interior is of course will be of course eligible for the golden visa programs. So I believe that the investors will adjust the product to the program if they really want to apply for the Portuguese golden visa program. In terms of our legal services, Of course, that having a specific immigration team working with the Golden Visa program, we can assist the client since the beginning to the end. So the preliminary steps will be opening a bank account, issuance of taxpayer numbers, execution of a power of attorney, clarifying any doubts that the investor and the client may have in relation to the process, helping him finding connections in the industry to find the a suitable investment opportunity, etc. Then the client must decide what type of investment he wants to pursue. Often is, of course, a property acquisition. And in that case, we will help with legal due diligence, drafting the relevant agreements, helping to pay for the property, executing the deed of purchase and sale, and of course, getting all the documents of the property updated into the client's name. If the investment is executed with refurbished works, we will of course proceed with the due diligence, negotiate the promissory agreement and the deed of purchase and sale, and register the property within the competent authorities in the name of the investor. And of course, we will help to revise and negotiate the construction works agreements. In relation to the participation units in venture capital funds, we will help you execute investment, subscribe the participation units, registering the participation units held with the management entity.
Have quite long terms and
obtaining a proof of registration and certificate of viability plan of the companies invested in by the funds. In relation to the application of the residence permit, we will of course help with all the steps in relation to the submission of the application. We will help the clients to obtain the documents in the way that we will explain to the clients what documents will be needed in order to apply. We will prepare and revise all the Golden Visa submission requests, and we will of course act on the client's behalf before the immigration services submitting the application, and of course collecting the biometric data along with the clients that it's mandatory in order to conclude the Golden Visa application. So, of course, that's the Portuguese Golden Visa program has several additional steps. It is, in fact, a bureaucratic procedure in the way that we have to comply with all the steps in relation to the application. But of course, if you are interested in investing in Portugal and applying for the Golden Visa program, we will be delighted to assist you. We have a lot of experience in this field, so we will be able to easily help you with your investment and in applying with the Golden Visa program. Thank you so much, and I will be delighted to assist you. And please contact me if you have any questions in relation to this method. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanessa. Very well presented there. And, you know, I think following on from my conversation with Alexander, there's a good incentive if people are looking at Portugal, and particularly if they're looking to invest in Lisbon or Porto, that the time is now. You know, not only pressures people have seen because of COVID and maybe not having a plan B or an insurance plan, because there are, you know, it happens in this industry, changes by government. And so anybody who's participating today and is sort of thinking about it, it's you've got to be a bit more decisive maybe and start making some
exactly
decisions.
Christopher.
Yeah.
Exactly. We are saying to our clients, because some of our clients are waiting for this COVID situation to end in order to move forward, and we are advising them to decide now if in fact they want a real estate option. They must decide now and act now, because they might face a risk of having these amendments approved within this year, and then they will be limited in the way that they would have to invest in the interior of the country.
Mm-hmm. And also, you know, it's allowing for a preparation phase, you know, in terms of, you know, either selecting a property, but also gathering your documentation to be able to submit the application. So those are other things that people don't necessarily realize can take a bit of time.
Of course,
again,
yeah. One thing, sorry, just to clarify that I often say that together with the procedure of acquiring the property and executing investment, the client must also be aware that the personal documents which are mandatory to apply for the golden visa must also be obtained by the client throughout the acquisition procedure. So if we start now to execute the investment and to gather this documentation, for sure that the golden visa application will be able to be submitted this year with the current rules, of course.